Welcome, welcome! We are here for the Streamer Early Access event thanks to MTG Arena, Wizards of the Coast. There's a bunch of streamers, myself included, who have early access to the new set, Theros Beyond Death. So we're just going to be jamming decks all day. I got about 10 that I want to try out. Everything will be up on YouTube afterwards. So starting off with the deck I'm probably most excited about, it is Mono Black Devotion. So I did do a deck tech on this a couple of weeks ago. Devotion is basically looking at the number of pips in a card's converted mana cost. From there, there's certain payoffs. So the two notable ones is Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Its nickname is Gary. It's kind of what the community name is. This is a reprint card. So basically 5 mana, 2/4. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where it's your devotion to black. So, for example, if you cast Grey Merchant with an Ayara out, you gain 5, and your opponent loses 5 before the Ayara trigger. So the other card in the deck that cares about devotion is Erebos Bleak-Hearted. So this is an indestructible god. So it is only a creature if your devotion to black is 5 or more. Otherwise, it's an indestructible enchantment. Whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life, you draw a card, and you can also pay 2 mana to sack another creature to give another target creature -2, -1. So, there's actually also Tymaret, but I'll go through the deck. I'm really excited to play. So, got the cat combo, gains us some life. It's also reoccurring triggers. Knight of Ebon Legion is a really good 1-drop for this deck. Order of Midnights for us to recycle our Grey Merchants when they die. Tymaret, Chosen from Death, is another new card. So its toughness is equal to our devotion to black. So it alone is a 2 mana 2/2. And then you can exile up to 2 cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature card exiled this way. So it's a good way of kind of stopping your opponent's escape creatures. 3 Midnight Reapers, when our things die, we draw more cards. 4 Murderous Riders to kill everything. 3 Ayara, whenever we cast a black creature, which is basically our entire deck. Opponent loses a life, we gain a life. We can also sack another black creature to draw a card. And then 2 Rankles. So I want to try out Rankle before I try out the demon that when a creature dies, you can exile it. I want to see how Rankle works just as kind of an evasive threat. The Grey Merchants, and then 2 Bolas' Citadel. Basically, if you could keep casting Grey Merchants, you gain a bunch of life back. So it's a lot of kind of life loss, life gain, using life as a resource in this build. Mana base wise, pretty simple. 4 castles and 2 Witch's Oven. Another way to put Grey Merchants back on top of our library. So this one's a little bit more recursive than if we use the demon where you exile. But I want to see how it goes. I got a few decks in the queue, and then I got more on Aether Hub. So right now you can only play best of 1. So we're only doing best of 1 decks. And let's take this for a spin. If you enjoy the content, if you're first time coming by the channel, if you do catch us on YouTube, if you can drop a sub, Twitch drop a follow. Both are free and easy ways to show your support. I'm going to be doing a ton of decks. I do a lot of budget decks on the channel, and now with the new set coming out, we will be looking to play a couple more budget decks once we get off the streamer event. So I'm going to keep this. We got Cat to keep us alive for the time being. And then we got a Grey Merchant. We're really just looking for some card draw. So opponent might be on the same strategy. We're playing against Voltage here. So I want to keep enough life gain that when we're playing like either Castle Locthwain to draw cards. Okay, so they have the Fenlurker. So I don't like Fenlurker in my builds. I just find it kind of a lackluster card. Did the client freeze? What's happening? Okay. So no attacks by the opponent here. Just drain them. Knight's actually pretty nice here. Just pass the turn. Second Fenlurker hitting our Grey Merchant sucks. And then they have an oven. So it's actually kind of good seeing how many varied versions of the deck there are. Want to see what works, what doesn't. So a bunch of people playing mono black devotion will be useful. So right now their devotion is 5. So you always have to be mindful what may happen here. So it's actually a really good draw for us. I kind of want to hit a land drop, but I think we just pass here. Midnight Reaper with Cauldron Familiar is really nice. Okay, so they get their cat as well. And they have Tymaret. Okay, so we have to watch out sequencing wise with Tymaret. That it can exile our cat. So I may want to prioritize taking that off the battlefield if we have something like Murderous Rider. And then just drain the opponent. Hey Apollo Duress, how's it going? New set is here. Ooh, Ayara is nice. So I want to hit a line drop here. And I want to do this before they can exile. Jeez. Another oven's good, but just not hitting that line drop's kind of hurting. Just 24 in the deck. What's wrong with Twitch? Interesting. Opponent keeps the food there. Okay, so they have Erebos. Their Erebos is turned on right now. It's actually quite scary. Okay, so opponent just concedes. We could kind of just grind him out that game. So backup plan worked out pretty well. Just cat oven Ayara. This is actually something funny. So we didn't get all the cards unlocked. We just got basically 5,000 wild cards. Alright, let's play another one. Hopefully we can gray merchant out our opponent. Yeah, it might be, like, I'm a little concerned with the server right now. A bunch of streamers just got access now and everyone's re-downloading the client for like the streamer event. So when I was downloading it this morning to have it ready, it took me maybe 5 minutes. It's like a 3 gig file. Doing it this afternoon, like at 1 o'clock, took me like half an hour. Playing Happy Dude, H2O Happy Dude. Probably recognize some of the other streamers. There's a lot of us today. Hopefully fine. So I'm going to do this first. This hand's a bit slower. Opponent goes first. Probably try it. Kind of inclined with any hand with castles just for the long game. So opponent leads on Swamp, Cauldron Familiar. So I think we're just all on Mono Black Devotion today. Everyone I think is most excited to play that deck. Okay, so opponent starts with the oven. They spent a bit more time of getting full art everythings. We do want a play on 2 ideally. Ayara is not bad. Ayara can serve as a catch-up mechanic. Tymaret was a turn late. So we can use this to try to catch the opponent's cat as it comes out. Hey Denny, how's it going today? This is our second game of Mono Black Devotion. We've played nothing but mirrors thus far. So I'm going to just sack Ayara here. It fizzles the Murderous Rider's ability, so it goes into the graveyard instead. To be honest, I'm probably just going to Tymaret, hold up the mana to try to catch the cat. See if the opponent slips up there. Ooh. Second Ayara is also tempting. But the opponent hasn't really done much. And it kind of limits how many times they could Witch's Oven here. Well, I can do this with the trigger on the stack. Yeah, that worked out really good. Tymaret's going to be really good against Cat. So getting their engine off the board works out pretty nice. Woast Rider. Is this something we have? Like I have an Aristocrats build for black-white. I have Woast Rider there. I don't know how good it'll be in mono black. Doesn't add much to devotion, and you usually want to keep your board intact. Ooh, Rankle's nice. So I can Ayara this turn. Or I can just start beating down. I think I just want to start beating down. Opponent also can't double block here profitably. We might need to revise the curve of this deck a bit, maybe go up another Tymaret. It seems like we got a glut of 3-drops. I think we're just going to discard here. I'm not going to get rid of a Murderous Rider, or Midnight Reaper. Murderous Rider can actually double Oven out. I don't know how good Murderous Rider actually is, so let's just get rid of this. They have another Woast Rider in hand. Why doesn't it show in the graveyard? That looks like a bug. So opponent attacks in here. Ooh. Yes, please. Our god's active here. If anything dies, we can pay some life. They may have Murderous Rider here. Let's just force them to discard. The less cards they have in hand, like they do have a castle, but if they're spending their whole turn paying mana into it, they also take at least 3 damage here. Okay, so they're on the Bolas Citadel plan too. Part of the reason I like Rankle, it's a hasty evasive threat that doesn't get chumped. Tymaret was pretty good this game so far. Whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life. So the question is, do I want the card draw or I just Witch's Oven? I think we just take the card draw here. That's actually pretty good because we can Ayara and Knight of Ebon Legion. So opponent's just trying to race us here. But we got him now. Ayara comes in, turns on our Erebos. Two more points of drain, and then we have Erebos and Tymaret to kill. We also have 4 more points of drain from the Cat Oven with Ayara. Sweet. Alright, 2-0 with the deck. This is pretty sweet so far. So I'll probably do about 40 minutes, 45 minutes of each deck. I want to get through as many as possible to have the best variety. As I'm kind of like finishing them up, I'll try to get them loaded onto YouTube. So if you want to catch them throughout the evening, they'll be up. I'm going to try to get through as many as possible. Might run mono black a bit longer. We just kind of need lands, but this hand's sweet. I may want to go to 25 line. Okay, so we hit our line drop, so we're good there. Murderous Rider, so this might be mono white devotion. So kill Daxos this turn. We got Grey Merchant, which is awesome. So Daxos can gain a lot of life, so I'd rather not deal with that. Interesting, they're going Mobilized District in this deck. Usually, like, mono white's, like, my version's pretty heavy in terms of white mana cost. So, like, if you have, like, plains this, Daxos isn't that good. I also don't like a Johnny's Pridemate. It gets big, but it just, like, dies to everything. So I'm attacking in first on the off chance they block. So they do have an opening here. Something like Heliod. We just need a land. We got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 14 points of burn just based on our board state. Okay, so they do have Heliod. It's our first taste of mono white devotion. So here, yeah, just run them down. Land followed up with Gary. Was gonna sack probably the Murderous Rider there just to get them off the board. 3-0. Just absolutely dumpstering. I have pretty much almost the same deck in Pioneer, so it's kind of a port for me. And then I also, to show how committed I am to this deck, these are my my orders that came in. I got my Ayaras, I got my Bolas' Citadels, I got my Rankles. So this isn't a flavor deck for me, this is my deck. Keep. Even if we just want to go offensive, I think the only thing that makes this hand better is if Order of Midnight's a better 2-drop, or if one of these swamps was a castle. We're also a skilled magician, and you got to play first, so you can't block. Actually, mono white likely doesn't have a lot of ways of blocking or killing our stuff. Rankle as a follow-up play is going to be pretty nice. I'm just going to play this out and pass the turn. Actually, that's a free attack. So I think we go Rankle next turn and sack the Order of Midnight to get them to sack something. I want to keep them off Devotion. Probably going to also get them to discard since we don't need the second Ayara. Each player discards, each player sacks a creature. So they got rid of a second Heliod. Knight of Even Legion can trade up better. But this is evasive. Now let's just get rid of Order of Midnight. Okay, so they do gain a life on the death trigger. And then this gets bigger. Rankle's been really good. Tyranica, Cronin, Veteran. Vigilance 3/3. Whenever it attacks and tap target creature you control until the end of turn, that creature has base power and toughness of 4/4 and gains indestructible. Here I'm just gonna force the sack again. Let's do the whole gambit. Now I'm gonna pay 2 life to draw a card with Erebos, and then they take a point of damage. Then we get cat. I can sack the cat to Ayara to draw another card after and pay 2 life. A lot of little synergies, lots of ways to gain life in this deck. And they still haven't been able to deal with our Heliod. I don't like that color. So let's draw a bunch of cards. Oh. Opponent. Have you met my friend? Gotcha! When mono black has like a burn 8 spell. Okay, we did our first Gray Merchant. We are getting there. I don't care about packs. We have unlimited. My vault status is 560%. Hey Quantum, how's it going? I came here to cast Gary's. This is literally, I'm guessing like 99% of my off-stream time will be casting Gary's. Yeah. We got our draw engine early, even if they deal with our first cat. So my mono white version is actually black-white. It's base white predominantly, but it has like Sorin, it has a couple castles, just to kind of give you some options in terms of removal as well. So I'm fine leading Cat here based on basic mountain, only because we have another oven. So even if they kill here, if we had like only one cat, then I would have led oven first. Get these out, get the chain going, and then probably play this. Tymaret's going to have some value at gaining us life later in the game if this is mono red. This might be mono red Perforos, which is another deck we're playing, so really excited to see all these. Yep, new expansion, early streamer event. So there's a bunch of streamers that got invites, myself included, first time around, so super pumped for that. I'm going to lead with the Midnight Reaper here. It gives us options to draw some cards. So we do have to be mindful. There's the Cats and Ovens. There's with Ayara, Grey Merchant. I need stuff to give me life for my Bolas Citadel. There's the new 4-mana mono red sweeper that does 4 damage to all creatures and planeswalkers. So it's something we do need to actively play around now. But with this board, like even if they sweep, I draw 3 cards. Okay. What do you got? Drakaseth, Perforos, Chandra. I also been paying attention. We're playing against Bengineering. I think I've played them before. The one thing with these devotion decks, it's going to allow us to play a lot more budget options. The fact that your mana base is no longer like 15 rares. Okay, so it is a Perforos deck. We may be getting one-shotted. So something we do need to keep an eye on. Okay, so Murderous Rider is actually really good because whatever they sneak attack in, we have an option to kill it. I'll demo. Okay, so this is one of the gods. Sorry, I realize I'm doing a bad job with. So Perforos, it's an enchantment as long as your devotion to red is less than 5. Other creatures you control have haste. For 3 mana, you can put a red creature or an artifact creature from your hand onto the battlefield and then sacrifice it at the end step. So basically this ability is similar to a card called Sneak Attack. So opponent Dracu sets for free and would wipe our board, but we have Murderous Rider here. And then that's pretty much the game. So we can drain them some more. We'll draw some cards. We're also getting them in the range where just Grey Merchant kills them out of nowhere. So we got Ayara as well, so that should close things out for us.